Welcome to Financial Freedom Principle. We are focused on the mindset, finance, and freedom principle. If we master these three principles, we'll be able to achieve freedom. Last time we looked at the economy. We know by now the economy has three major blocks: production, distribution, and consumption. What is the effect of the coronavirus on the economy? To look at that in details, we're going to look at the effect of the virus on production, on distribution, and on consumption. Before we go in a little bit deep into the effects, the crisis create two major important situations for us. The first one, the crisis create an uncertainty in the economy. But the second things, we have travel stops. When we can travel to many other destinations, when we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, people get paranoid, and all of a sudden they're not making the decision they were supposed to in the economy. People will stop buying because they're scared. People will buy because they are scared. So uncertainty is a problem. We don't know what's going to happen. Let's look at uncertainty and the effect of the travel ban in all the country around the world. Number one, we're gonna look at uncertainty. And number two, okay, so let's look at uncertainty. Right now, nobody knows what direction the economy will be going. And not only we don't know what direction the economy will be going, but we don't know is this when this thing will be over. We don't know when the crisis will be over. We would love to know that because the decision we're gonna take financially gonna depends on, okay, when does the crisis gonna be over? When do we going to find a cure or a vaccine for the virus? We don't know that. Every country around the world right now is trying, but nobody knows when we will see an end to this. But also nobody know how long it's gonna take. Right now, a lot of schools stop, a lot of jobs are closed, and we can travel. We can go to the gym. Everybody starts at home. We all at home. The kids are trying to keep going, but they can't go back to school. We can go back to work. There is a big major issue because nobody knows. And not only that, we know when we have uncertainty, people is in fear. People going crazy. They don't know what to do. So it's a major problem. Uncertainty in any economy is a problem. This is why you see the government is trying to control the communication channels, how to talk to the population about it, right? What to do about it. The governments are trying, but we don't know yet. Nobody have an answer. Since nobody has an answer, me as a spiritual man, I love my spiritual life. I hope all of you focus today on your spiritual life because your spiritual life can bring peace into your life. Even though we are living in an economy that's going crazy, the healthcare is going crazy, but if we have peace, we'll be able to make better decisions. And when we have peace inside, in our mindset, and then we know what to do, we have a financial education. Now you can see how with peace you can see opportunities. Okay? Around the world right now, the economic system is in the brink of collapse. We see everybody's throwing money at the economy right now. Every government is passing stimulus packages to help the economy. The healthcare, it's a health crisis, but we also know it's a major economic crisis. So uncertainty create fear in the economy, and majority of people they can't make a great decision when there's fear. Majority of us we need peace, we need calm, we need to know what's going on in order for us to make better decision. That's human nature. So the second thing that the crisis creates, it's the crisis creates a travel stop around the world. American airline, Delta airline, all the major airlines, they are 95% stop on all the flights. Can you believe that? If they told us in January we were gonna be in that position, we would not believe it, right? Business is trying to make things work because we can't be close to each other in our jobs. How do we do our jobs when we can't be 5 feet away from our coworkers? This is a problem. We can travel around the world. Why? Because we're going to see that. Because if you can travel, right now we live in a global economy. Product that we use here in the US come from almost every country in the world, China mostly, and then we know from Europe, from Africa, they come from everywhere, the Caribbean, right? From Canada, they coming from everywhere. Product that the other countries consume come from the US, and we are in a global economy. The travel ban, we can't move people around. I can't go to any countries right now, even if I have a business in that country. And my employee can't move around. You see how big that is. Travel ban, travel got to stop. That's a way for us to control the virus. We need to stop travel, right? That's a big issue. Countries cannot do business with countries that easy anymore because of the travel ban. Transportation is almost coming to a stop. So these two things, uncertainty and travel stops, create major problem for the economy. So now, with that in mind, let's look at the three blocks of the economy to see how the virus affect them. We're going to look at production first, and then we go right to distribution, and then we finish with consumption. Let's look at distribution. We have distribution, we have production here, and then we have consumption. That's our economy. Okay, so let's look at production. Because we know there's an uncertainty, we know there is travel ban, we can't move product from one location to another location easy anymore. We can't move product from one country to a different country that easy anymore. Last week, we looked for toilet paper. We were looking everywhere. We couldn't find toilet paper. You see, just toilet paper, you think that was not important. All of a sudden, because of the crisis, we can't get them in the store as quick as possible. The one of the thing travel ban, we know it's a big issue. But here's look at production. If we are producing a product, for example, toilet paper from China, because of the virus, what happened in China? We know now that majority of the companies stop working because we every worker's got to stay home to avoid contact with other people so they don't get the virus. The first thing we see is people can come to work. Production need employee. So business needs employee. So if you can't, if I am an employee, I can't go to work. What happened? No employee. If I can't go to work, the business can't function. If the business can't function, we don't have products. It's a simple chain. We have a crisis. The economy is here. Because of the crisis, the economy is affected. Because production is one block of the economy. The crisis affect production. How does it do that? Employee cannot go to work. Employee cannot move from one country to the other. What happened? When we don't have employee, businesses can't give you any products. If you can't produce any products, what happened to the economy? The production block of the economy just stop working. So if we look at this, the entrepreneur now got to make a decision. What do I do? Like we were saying, there's uncertainty in the economy. The entrepreneur is not gonna spend more money because he doesn't have employee to work. Not only that, what if you create the product? So now we know we have to have special distribution channels to move product now, because the regular channels to move product around now is almost coming to a halt right now. So now that's why today you see what the major transportation companies like trucks and airlines, the one that's functioning right now is maybe UPS. Those are the companies that's only carrying products around, right? Because now, since we have a lot of company has extra that they have in inventory, now they can still move them around. So if the government doesn't mandate for those companies that we need those products to keep working, to find a way to make it work. If the businesses don't work with the government to find a way to make it work, what's gonna happen? We're not going to find the products we need. For example, right now, toilet paper is a big thing, right? Food will be important for the next couple of months if we can't go out, right? If we can't find, if they can bring the foods that we need from Mexico, from Canada, if they can't bring them to the market, what's gonna happen? No product will show up in the market. We will need food to eat. You see, no employee, no, if nobody's working, business stop. If business stop, we don't have any product. So some services we can still have. Why? Because a lot of the services we can do our job from home. Some of you are working from home right now. That's why even if you can't go to work to do a product, but if you're working in the service industry, you might be able to do your job at home. If you work in the bank, might be able to give you access to the network to be able to do your job. Okay, so if for those kind of jobs, if you are a computer programmer, for example, you might be able to do your job at home. this is an advantage. But if you're building, for example, if you're building food or desk or chair, you got to be in the at the location to be able to produce this. And then if you can't be close to all your other coworkers, it makes things impossible, right? You see how the virus, the crisis, affect production because the virus stop employee from coming, an employee stop businesses. The business cannot produce anything. Since they can't produce it, then what happened now? The second leg of the economy now become the distribution become impossible. Let's look at that. So if we can't produce, that's mean we don't have no distribution. Because we don't have any product to distribute. What if we can do the distribution? A lot of the time now, distribution will be very hard to do. So now, if we spend a lot of money to create a product now, some businesses might still be working, producing a lot of products that we need. For example, toilet paper. For the in the healthcare industry, we see they need a lot of protective equipment, right? Masks, gowns. They need gloves. They need everything right now. So these companies got to continue to work. If they need to continue to work, that's meaning they will produce. Some employee will still go to work to make the product. Now that's why the government is giving incentive for those companies to create the product, and then they helping these companies to do the distribution, to bring the product to the point of use. So now you see distribution. For example, if I need to fly to, if I have business, for example, to in China, and I need to go to China to say, all right, I need more of this product. What's gonna happen? It was very difficult because now I don't have it. No airline is going there right now, right? So you see that what's the problem? I can't go get my product. I can't go bring the product to market because it's impossible. But some companies still can do that because what they are bigger companies, also companies who work with the government right now to keep producing food. If you own a food business, they want you to continue to produce because we all need food. Even though if I don't go to the restaurant, but I still need to order. I can order over the phone. I can order online. They can bring me that. You see, some of the distribution is still working, but majority of the distribution is not working. So that's why we have shortage of some product because we can't get the product from China to come here. And then a lot of people are afraid also. They said, can this product have virus in them? They can't, right? Or I don't know enough to tell you about that part, right? I'm not a health professional. I don't know much about how the virus function and how long it stay alive, right, on surfaces. But what we know, if we can't move the product here because people are not producing, we don't have a distribution. What if we have a distribution? Now we see it become very expensive. Let's say I have a product in China, I produce shoes. To bring the shoes here, now it's gonna be expensive for me to bring it here. If I have to bring it, I was able to get it to transport it here. What's gonna happen? It's gonna be so expensive. But when I get here with the product, what's gonna happen? Nobody will be able to buy it because it's so expensive. But also, not only that, but nobody's going to the store right now. All the malls, all the clothing stores are almost shut down right now. So even though if I'm producing shoes, I might be able to get the shoes here for a lot of money, but I'm not gonna be able to sell it because of the distribution. People are not moving. You see that? So now we see the effect on production is big, but also the effect on distribution is big. So let's look at the third point, which is the effect of the virus on consumption. So if we look at this, we see that production now, instead of increase of demand, they have a decrease in demand in some industries. For example, clothing right now, the demand to produce is very, very low, if it's non-existent. But if you need product for healthcare, the demand right now for healthcare is high. You see that? So if the same thing for distribution, the demand for some product to have company for transportation right now is very low, but the demand to bring other product from the company to the hospital right now are very high. The demand to bring food from the restaurant to my house, to every client's house right now is very high. That's why in some cities they let Ubers still function. Why? Because people can't go to the restaurant, but transport distribution is important because food become important. Okay, so because of that, consumption also become two ways now. The demand for some product increase right now, but demand for other product decrease. Right now, I need toilet paper. I need water. For example, these two things right now are very in demand. That means we still have to drink a lot of water, and we still got to eat, and we still got to use toilet paper. You see why consumption for these things are important. For example, I have three kids. They are at home right now. They eating everything they can find. What does that mean? Food right now is a great consumption item. We need food. We need water, right? And then we need toilet paper. As we continue to eat, we'll continue to go to the bathroom. We need more toilet paper. You see that? So consumption still good, still increase because of that. But I'm not going out. I'm at home. What do you think gonna happen to my clothes? I don't have a demand for clothes. I don't want to buy clothes. I don't want to buy shoes. If you look at shoes right now, consumption of shoes is decreased. I can stay home, and if I'm working from home, I can work on my pajamas, basically. If you work at home, you don't need to go anywhere. You can stay home and stay in your bed, do all your work if you work from home, right? Because even a lot of people don't go outside to run, right? If you're in New York, it even tougher. People, if you cough, people might think you have the virus. But what we are trying to tell you is that if you home, for example, you don't need to consume a lot of the other products you usually could get. Get shoes, buy clothes, buy expensive things. Even your haircut, which is a service, you don't need that service right now. Why? Because you can't go to the barber shop. See, consumption now decrease. We have most of the services are closed right now, like barber shop, beauty salon, all this are closed right now. All the clothing stores are closed right now. You can see effect that we don't need them. We don't need them. Okay, but if we look at food store, they still up. Right? We still need these things. If you see internet services, right? Internet service is still up because even when we are home, we need to connect to the world. That we use internet to do that. The TV, we watch TV. We need light. we need power, we still need those services because they help us to live every day, to cook, to keep our food refrigerated. They all we need those products. So you can see that some product right now, consumption, we don't use them much, but for some other product, we still have demand for them. Demand continue to increase. So one of the things you have to look at, as we produce less of a product, we distribute less of it. If we need to consume more of it, price will increase. You see that now? We're gonna see demand in prices, right? The relationship between demand and prices, between this production, distribution, and consumption. So if we have a product right now in this crisis that have a lot of demand for it, if we can distribute it, price will increase as well. But if we have a product that we have a lot of demand for it, we can distribute it, price usually try to stay the same. The government step in and say, no, we have enough of it, price should not increase, right? We have a lot of the product, we can still find it, we can still produce it, we still can distribute it to the consumer, to the market, and then the price should not change, right? That's key. For example, gas right now, we don't have a lot of demand for it. We can still distribute gas. The distribution is increased, but also consumption decrease. Most likely what happened to price, when that happened, price tend to decrease. You see that? So the crisis, how does it affect the economy? It affects distribution. Some product we can't find them. Some product we still can produce it. Right now we're trying to produce everything we can find for healthcare workers. So this distribution increase, we need that. Not only we distribute it, we produce it. Now the hospital, the workers, they need it to consume it, to use it. That's the way the crisis affect us now. We stay home. We can't move. There's a travel ban. We have uncertainty. Every time we have uncertainty, the economy will be affected. Why? Because entrepreneurs, we don't know what to produce. So if they produced it, they should be able to still send it to the market, distribute it. If we can't distribute it because of the travel ban, price will tend to increase because whoever has some product will try to increase the price, or will try to keep it for themselves, not use it. So consumption become a problem. That's why the government right now is doing everything they can to keep the country going, to keep us feed, right? That's why they say, all right, no foreclosure right now. We should give everybody some money to spend. That's what the $2 trillion stimulus package is gonna do also. We need to help the companies, like the travel companies like American Airlines, all these companies, to stay in business so the economy doesn't stop, right? And then we need to have some companies start producing other product for the hospital so we can protect our healthcare and then also protect the population while we stay home, right? So this crisis, what you need to know, how do you prepare yourself financially because of this crisis? We understand that even though we have a crisis, we might not be able to get all the product we want. The economy is still going. There is opportunity in the economy, but also some people will lose a lot of money in the economy. So the next video, we will look at how do we prepare ourselves? What can we do in the middle of this crisis financially to prepare us for after the crisis? Remember, I love what Jesus said in the Bible, right? I'm a spiritual man. I got to go back to the Bible on this to finish the video. He said we will have issue on this earth, but don't trouble yourself because this too will pass, right? These too will pass. Focus on your spiritual life and prepare yourself financially. Remember, tomorrow is a different day. We will have another month is coming. Another year is coming. God will help us with this crisis. He will send a cure. That's for sure. Don't trouble, but prepare yourself financially. So when the crisis pass, you'll be in a better position. Again, my name is Cesar Julian. I was happy to be with you on this video. I'll see you next time when we look at what do we need to do financially in this crisis. God bless you. See you next time.